appreciate you guys being on. My name is Robert Dunbar. And with Training by Dunbar. On the bottom left-hand side of your screen, excuse me, bottom right-hand side for you, bottom right-hand side of your screen, you should see a subscribe button. If this is the recording that you're looking at, you should see a subscribe button that you can click on and subscribe to our channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you're on here live right now, please make sure when we get off that you go to my channel and subscribe. It's not going to create any issues for you. It's not going to give you emails. It's not going to do any of those different things. The subscribe button clearly is all it's going to do is allow you access to my channel where when something comes out, like say I drop something or whatever, when you go to YouTube, it's going to be a notification bell in the upper right hand side of your YouTube channel, or when you get on your YouTube set, you'll see it says notifications, and then maybe 12, 13 notifications. When you click it, it'll have whatever trainings that I dropped since you last looked at the notifications, it'll show up there. If you click the notification bell after you subscribe, then you'll actually get emails saying, I just delivered a new training. So if you don't want the emails, don't click the notification bell. If you do want them, click the notification bell. If you just want to know when you go to YouTube that I've got something new, just subscribe, and it'll put it in the notifications in YouTube, so they won't send them to you, but you'll see them when you go to YouTube. So that's a great way for you to be able to do that. When you surf in the channel, on my channel, I have been organizing everything. So when you get to my channel, if you scroll down, all of the videos, the different videos are categorized. So all of my Wednesday night trainings are under one playlist. All of the trainings on mindset are on a playlist. Now, you'll see some of my videos in different playlists because they may match several playlists. So if I do a mindset training on a Wednesday night, that video is going to be under mindset and under Wednesday night trainings. But I'm categorizing my trainings by weekly, on a weekly scenario, and I'm also categorizing them by the subject as well. So you can find it either way. For those that are involved with Legal Shield, that they play a part in CDL, there's a category there for that, and it says weekly CDLP coaching Zooms, and you can find all of those from September 7th all the way up to now there. So that's pretty much how we have that laid out and how it's going to continue to work. So the leadership trainers are going to have their own playlist as well, and you'll be able to go there and click on those videos and make comments or whatever you need to there. Also, a lot of times I'll be giving away maybe a free ebook or something like that. So make sure you take a look at the description. And it's normally right at the top of the description. So if you click the description, it describes what the video is. It'll tell you what the video is about. And sometimes it'll have a free book there that you can click and download. It depends. It'll have different resources for different things as well there. So it won't just be the information on what's on the video. It'll also be different things there, links that, like if I talk about, like I know this week, as a matter of fact, I'll be mentioning food scale on this training, and the link to a food scale that you can get from Amazon for less than 20 bucks. And actually it's gonna pull up a bunch of food scales, but food scale for less than $20, the link is there. So instead of you going to try to find those things, I'll normally have those links in the description. That makes it easier for you when you go look at the YouTube training. So that's pretty much how that works. So I'm going to get started this week, and what we're going to be going over, we're going to be doing a whole book. So normally when I'm trying to start training on this material that are already within the books that I have, so it gives me a chance to train on the material that I wrote, and it gives you guys a chance that when you have the book, to be able to go through the book. So it kind of gives you the chance to say, okay, I bought the book, but I haven't read it yet. Well, I know if I get on every Wednesday, I can get through the book because he's going to go throughout the entire book. And that's what I plan to do here. This is going to be a shorter book. This book is 34 pages. So I think we're probably going to do about 4 weeks on this book, and then go back into the next mindset book. And then, I'll make that book available probably a week or two before the training starts. For people to be able to get the book. But right now, Health is Success, and I'll be delivering some more health books as well this year, just making sure that people put their finance top of mind, because it doesn't make sense to be successful and your health has gone down the drain. And we'll talk about, creating good habits and everything from probiotics to doing cardio consistently and things like that, so that you guys will, it'll make it a lot simpler for you guys, and break a lot of myths that are out there about health so that you can do some things to get better. Whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to gain muscle, whether you just want to exercise and just be healthy. Some people just want to walk for 30 minutes a day just so they get the heart rate up and it's just healthy in that way. So this is not about judging a person or saying you should be a certain way or you should be a vegan or you should not eat dairy or don't eat carbs, or this is not about any of those things. This is about you finding your place in whatever it is you consider to be healthy for yourself. Once you hear information, then it's about us helping you get there through different supplements and food and things like that, because it's important. Health is important for several different reasons, and we all adults on this line, so we know exactly why health is so important. So we're going to get started kind of with my healthcare journey. I'm going to talk a little bit about my healthcare journey in the beginning, just so you guys are familiar with that. And remember, we're not only on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Becoming an Entrepreneur. We are on LinkedIn as well. And on LinkedIn, we're under Training by Dunbar. We are on Twitter as well, under Training by Dunbar. We are on Instagram under Training by Dunbar. So go to Instagram, follow. Let's partner up on LinkedIn. Join the page on Facebook, Becoming an Entrepreneur. I put information there, and I'm going to continue to put more information there as well as I continue to get more things that I can hand out and give out. Again, I give a lot out for free. Basically, the only thing I really sell is books and my coaching services. Those are really the main things that I actually sell when it comes to my training company. Most of everything else, checklists and all those other things, I pretty much give away. So they're not. It's not about me trying to nickel and dime you for a bunch of different things, but I want you to have information as I have it to deliver. So that's how that works. So for those again that don't know my story, I know most of you guys do. You see it there on the screen. These slides are directly out of the book. So if you actually have this book, if you bought this book and you pull it up on your computer, you're gonna actually see me go like page for page in the book. That way I'm taking the material right out of the book, and people are not confused about where it come from and where to find it. And I like that. Let me see if I can highlight that. And remember, it's an ebook, guys, but you can always download it. So we've talked about this on several other trainings that I've done about the HP Instant Ink program. I'll put that in the description of this video as well. The HP Instant Ink program, guys, I still use it right now. I still have it. Even though I don't print as much, because a lot of my benefits and stuff I did online through Microsoft Team. I haven't been moving around in training, so I haven't had to make packages, but I still pay $20 a month for my HP Instant Ink. I could dumb it down to about $6 or $7 a month at this point, but I don't, because it's I just never know when I'm gonna need the higher page the higher page print offs. But for those that aren't familiar with it, HP Instant Ink has a program where you can get the printer from HP or from Office Depot, put that printer on your office desk, and then I think the service I have, I think I pay like $19 or $24 for a month, and I get about 750 color pages a month for that. Plus they send you the ink cartridges, so you don't have to pay for ink. They mail them to you. So if you need more information on that, just text me or email me. But my link to go through my link to get HP Instant Ink, I'll put that in the description of the video. That way you guys will be able to pull it up and click it and get more information on it. But if you want to print the book off, it's 34 pages. So I would suggest take your printer and print it double-sided. Now you're only using 17 pages. And now you physically have the book in front of you if you want to have it that way to highlight or take notes or whatever the case may be. But for those that don't know, born and raised in Buffalo, mother's Cheryl, father's the name same as mine. It's just like my son. He's junior. I'm the third. My son is the fourth. And I've got 3 children. One 25, one 22, and one 14 years old. And I originally moved to Florida to do real estate, and I got caught in that bad real estate market. And then I went down hard and fast. And then when I was able to get back up, I've been doing pretty good ever since. I think I had maybe a 2 to 3 year stint. When I joined my first network marketing company, which is Legal Shield. I had a 2 or 3 year stint where I didn't do that well at all because I wasn't doing that well in Legal Shield, and I had sold off my other businesses because I was so excited about Legal Shield. And I just ran into another bad financial spot at that point because I sold my businesses before I should have. So what I ended up finding in the process of doing all the things I did in business was that I was really good at training, and I really enjoyed training, and I was willing to train for free. So I knew that I would be able to train for money. So that's kind of part of my story. You see what it says down at the bottom paragraph in that last sentence. It says, now with over 15 years of speaking, training, coaching, and consulting experience, I pride myself on delivering a good promise to all my clients, which is whatever it is. All of my coaching clients, I spend way more time with them than what they pay me for. So my coaching clients, literally, I charge about $200 an hour. Nobody has an hourly package with me. They all have a coaching package, which is 90 days or 6 months or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times, my clients, like if they got an hour session a week with me in that coaching package, I'm normally on with them for about an hour, hour and a half. Most of the time, we run over to about an hour and a half, and that doesn't come out of their next week's time. So if we do that 10 times, that means that, 10, 30 minutes over, it's like they got 5 more hours out of me and didn't pay for it. So a lot of my clients, they don't, that's never a time thing for me. I like to finish the session and make sure that person walks away from that session with what they needed. So I do go over and things like that, not because I'm trying to give them a break, but because I love what I do and I don't mind doing it for free, even though I charge, because obviously I'm running a business. So that's just kind of the way it works. So just my journey with healthcare, when I got into it, I had always been, I've been running for years, like running or walking. I've always been a person that either jogged or did jogging, sprinting, running, just a fast-paced walking. I've always done that because for me, it's therapeutic. To run and walk and things of that nature is really, for me, my heart rate going up, and it gives me a chance to think. I'm a thinker. I'm a Gemini. For those that know anything about Geminis are typically thinkers. Not every one of them, but most of them, part of their sign is they're a thinker. And I think better when I'm moving. So sitting still thinking, like some people can lay in a bed and come up with all these ideas. I'm the kind of person that I need to be moving, a treadmill or walking down the street or whatever the case may be. And I found that out young in life. So I've always been the kind of person that will go outdoors and walk. I prefer that to a treadmill. Walking and running and all that, those things I have been doing. I've been going in and out of the gym for years. Never really consistently, maybe 5 days a week or whatever. I always kind of went in and out of the gym all my life. Never, and just been the last maybe 2 years where I've literally gone to the gym and just been there no matter what. Like always there. I didn't used to be that consistent with it, but now, and I'll explain, of course, why that is. So you see, it says on a slide, jogging for more than 10 years, utilized my gym membership since 2015, but it didn't prevent me from being almost 250 pounds. And I'm a foodie. So for those that know me, like I love eating. I love going to restaurants, but I love going to restaurants that are local, non-commercial restaurants. And I love eating food from other places. So although I love my American foods, I love going to Latin places and Greek places and Indian places. And I love eating from different types of food. Some of my favorite food is Latin American food. So because I'm a foodie and I travel and I eat and all that kind of stuff, you can tend to gain weight, especially once your metabolism slows down. Because we all remember, we used to be able to eat whatever we wanted in high school. And then what happened? We gained weight. Our metabolism slows down. We start to gain weight. Or we don't move around as much. We kind of become homebodies, some of us. We're not playing basketball and tennis and riding bikes and things like we should, not exercising like we should, and we tend to gain weight. And I had been going back and forth between like 235 and 247 for probably 10 years. I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 15 years. And some of you guys that have been knowing me for a long time, I got pictures on Facebook where I weighed 247. I got pictures on Facebook where I weighed 230 something. So I've got all different sizes of weights, because I've been on Facebook probably since maybe 2009 or something like that. So it's been 11 years, I guess. I've been on Facebook, almost 12 years I've been on Facebook. So my weight has been different ranges in that amount of time. And I had a scare one time because my leg was really bothering me. My right leg was really bothering me. And I went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, they told me that I needed to see a specialist. So I went to go see my specialist. I booked an appointment with a specialist for my leg. And they told me I had osteoarthritis, which was something that they said people get, you know, but I had it because I played sports. I played football and basketball in high school. And they saying just the wear and tear from that, you know, it's just something that happens sometimes. So, you know, when I talked to my doctor about what I could do, he said, well, it's arthritis and it's not a whole bunch you can do about arthritis. You can't heal arthritis. You just got to do things, take measures to eat foods that are anti-inflammatory and stuff like that. So I started looking at things like turmeric and eating foods that were naturally anti-inflammatory. And one of the biggest things my doctor said to me was, he said, if you lose weight, he said, if you lose about 30 pounds, it won't really bother you at all. He said, because it's going to bother you more the heavier you get because your weight, you put more weight on that meat, right? Anybody understand what I mean? Yes or yes? Yeah. So he was like, hey, look, you're gonna have to lose some weight. He said, it won't really bother you if you lose weight. And he said, now, as you get older, it's going to start bothering you a little bit more and more. He said, but anybody's arthritis would. That's just something you're gonna have to deal with. But the longer you can stay less weight, then the better off your leg is going to be because it's not bearing that weight. So I said, well, how much weight should I lose? And he said about 30 pounds. I said, lose about 30 pounds and you should be good. And at the time I was weighing about somewhere between 245 and 250 pounds at the time. So I said, okay. So I started trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to lose weight? Am I going to walk? Am I going to run? Am I going to do something at the gym? So I started looking at all different kinds of things that I could do to lose weight. And I started putting together, not really a program, but I started like looking into different things that I can do and trying to create some kind of regular activity that I was doing so I can get the weight off. And I'm not a dieter. So for those of you all that are maybe dieters on here that have dieted successfully, and if you've dieted successfully, go in the chat and let us know that you have and what program you use. Because I'm not really against diets. They just don't work for me. So I believe in more of a healthy lifestyle than I do diet. Would you gonna say something? Somebody gonna say something? So I believe more of a healthy lifestyle more than I do about dieting. So for me personally, I just felt like dieting wasn't going to work, but what can I do for a healthy lifestyle? So if anybody is on here and you're saying, hey, look, I did a diet, I did whatever, Jenny Craig, or I did keto, or I did whatever you did, Slim Fast, or whatever you participated in, if you've done that and it was successful for you, feel free to put that in the chat. And then that way, other people will know that, you know, there's some things out there that could possibly work for them. But for me personally, none of that stuff ever worked for me. So I said, you know what, I have to just do things differently. That begins with replacing your old habits with your new habits. It begins there. So I had to start doing, and this is easier for me than it may be for some of you all because I live by myself. So when you live with other people, some of the habits, they're hard to replace because you can't be like, no junk food in the house when you got kids in the house. Or if your spouse eats junk food and they're not on that same weight loss journey that you may be on. So just keep in mind, that may be a caveat in your household. For me personally, I live by myself. So it's like, even when my son comes over here, my 14-year-old son comes over, he will bring like stuff with him. Or we'll stop at Walmart on the way to my house from his house, and I'll get him stuff that he wants. But I'll tell him, because my son keeps a backpack. He walks around with a backpack. I'm like, yo, son, do me a favor. All your stuff that you're going to eat, your junk and all your sweet snacks and animal crackers and whatever else you're getting, keep that stuff in your backpack so I don't see it. You know, and for him, he's good because when we go get the stuff, he never have to worry about nobody else eating it but him because nobody else is here with me and him and I don't eat it. And I don't have to worry about seeing it in the cabinet when I open it up. So you have to do things to prevent yourself from, teasing yourself, right? You don't want to tease yourself, or like you got to know what you can deal with. I'm the kind of person that I won't eat anything sweet if it's not in the house because I'm not going to go buy it to eat it. If it's not in the house, I'll get over the urge. If it's in the house, I'm going to eat it. I'm also the person, right? And if you this person, put yes or yes in the chat box. I'm also the person that when I open something up, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Like I can't do moderation. So I can't open up a bag of chips, eat a couple chips, and then fold the bag up and put it back in the cupboard. That's not gonna happen. If I open up a bag of chips, an hour later, the whole bag of chips is gonna be gone. That's just kind of how my brain works, right? So that's why it's so important. What you hear me talk about, if you've gotten the book, you heard me talk about it in the book. But if you didn't hear me talk about it in the book, you're gonna hear me talk about it in the training over the next few weeks. Is weighing stuff and putting it in a bowl or a dish and eating it that way. Because what happens in your brain is when it's gone, it's gone. If I have the whole bag, then it's not gone till the whole bag is gone. If I weigh some chips in the bag and put them in a separate container and bring them to my office desk or wherever I'm eating at, then when it's gone, it's still gone. But I ate less, if that makes sense. So this is still all mindset, which is still all things that I'm going to talk about when it comes to training, because losing weight, working out, changing your figure, changing your how your body is proportioned, all those things, that all takes mindset. So I had to learn to trick my brain, because my brain is like, until it's gone, I'm going to keep eating. And if your brain works that way, where it until it's gone, it's going to keep on going to eat that deal or drink whatever, then you have to take some out of the bag or some out of the drink, put it in a dish or put it in a cup for the amount that you want, measure it, and then you won't kill a whole bottle, or you won't eat the whole bag, or whatever the case may be. So that was one of the habits that I had, is like I will open up something, even if it's healthy, I'll open it up, and when I open it up and I put it on my office desk or wherever I'm eating at, I will eat it until it's gone. So if that's an issue that you have, weighing your food and putting it in separate dishes will certainly help you overcome that issue. So those are some of the things I looked at doing. Cardio to burn, so that I can burn weight, burn fat, and I said I'm gonna start going to the gym more consistently. So I started going to the gym 5 days a week. Now I go to the gym every day, and those are the things that I did along the journey. So then when I really got into my healthcare journey, then I went on ahead and I applied through ISSA to become a certified personal trainer. And not because I had any intentions on training anybody else, but because I personally wanted to understand what I was doing to get my body in a place where I was healthy. That's what it was about for me. And when I went to ISSA to get that course, they happened to be running a special where they were like, okay, if you buy the personal training course, we now will give you the nutritionist course as well. So I went ahead and took that course too. And it looks like here coming up in the future, when my leg is back normal, I'm going to be taking adding to my certification by put myself in a position to learn how to train people on how to do the, I can't think of the name of it right now, on the bikes. I just drew a blank, but how to ride not the actual bikes, but the bike classes. I can't think of the name. It begins with the S, but whatever. It'll come to mind. So I'm gonna be doing that as well. I'm probably not gonna actually be teaching any classes because I really don't get into much of that. But it's good for me to know for my own personal, because I do like to ride bikes. And so once I have this my leg taken care of, then I'll be able to do that. So what you got in the Jim Hicks Weight Watchers? I did Weight Watchers for 17 weeks. Spin class. There you go, Nancy. Thank you, Linnell. Spin class. So I'm gonna do a training, get a certification through ISSA to be a spin trainer. I did Weight Watchers for 17 weeks, and I became a life member. Now it's a lifestyle. Give it a try. So Jim Hicks said he can answer questions on Weight Watchers. He used that. Thank you for the good tip comment, Claudia. Jim Hicks. Now I do power walking Monday through Friday. When I started Weight Watchers, I started at 213 over 8 years ago, and now he's at 200 pounds. And guys, 13 to 15 pounds, that's a lot of weight to lose. I didn't realize how losing that 30 pounds, I ended up losing 47 pounds. I'm at 200 now. I went from 247 to 200. And I fluctuate between 200 and 204. I'm normally somewhere between 200 and 204 on any given day. That's pretty much how I weigh out. But the weight I lost, man, it made such a big deal in my life. Like that, I mean, when you look at like 30 or 40 pounds, you're thinking 30 or 40 pounds is not that big of a deal. But health-wise, it made a really big deal for me. Yeah, really big deal. And Jim is also saying he's in his 70s. So Jim did it in his 70s, able to lose that weight and deal with that. So spin class a year ago, I was on Nutrisystem, did well for a year. I danced and I love Zumba, good stuff. And dancing and Zumba is very good for cardio and all. It's a full body workout. It's like swimming. It's a full body workout. Get your heart rate up. So guys, find something to do to exercise, because I'm telling you, that add years to your life. Years to your life. And if you're going to the doctor regularly, I'm sure your doctor is telling you that. So you see here on the screen that's up on the bottom, it says when the doctor told me to lose 30 pounds or less, the fear of or else kicked in, and I was no longer interested in looking healthy. I wanted to be healthy. And that was one of the things, like, you can go work out and you'll look healthy and not be healthy. And this is so many myths. Like, you'll find somebody and be like, I've got friends that are vegans. I've got friends that are vegetarians. I've got friends that I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. I don't eat any products that's dairy. I don't eat eggs because they come from a chicken. And I know people who don't eat all kind of stuff and they still unhealthy. So don't be thrown off by the, I eat healthy, I'm healthy. Eating healthy is not all you can do to make you healthy. So if you eat healthy, you can still be unhealthy. And some of these foods, right? So like, I got friends that don't eat meat, right? I don't eat meat a lot. I eat meat very rarely, but it's not because I don't eat meat. It's just I'm just not a person that eat a lot of meat. That's just naturally how I am. But I've got friends who don't eat meat, but eat some other horrible things. I mean, things that's horrible for their health. And it's like, yes, they don't eat meat, which is good that they don't eat meat for their health, but they're still eating some other things that a doctor or a health professional would call trash, right? And then you've got some people who work out at the gym 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week, and they eat crappy. You got people who got muscles, right? Or you may see a woman that's toned up, or a guy that's got a bunch of muscles, and it's like, oh, they're in shape. Being in shape doesn't make you healthy. Sometimes they're in shape because they lift a lot of weights, but they still eat incorrectly and they're still not a healthy person. So just understand that being healthy isn't just about looking healthy, which is why I put that in my my fear made my mindset change area right there, was that it's one thing to look healthy, it's another thing to be healthy. It's a totally different thing to be healthy. So you've got to figure out where you want to be at, because when you're on your healthcare journey, you're gonna feel good at a certain place. So, for the people on this Zoom right now who may be an African American, or have some friends that's African American, or you in an area, or got friends or co-workers or whatever, where you have conversations with Black people on a regular basis, you may hear them tell a joke, and a joke is like, when a Black person lose weight, they friends that say they look like a crackhead, right? So for me, when I started losing weight, people will be like, man, you're getting too skinny. And sometimes you'll listen to that. And it's not that you're getting too small. People are used to seeing you at a certain size. So because they're used to seeing you at a certain size, to them, you're getting too small. Well, really, it's not that you're getting too small. It's just they're not used to seeing you that size. So you've got to have the willpower and what word am I looking for? I guess willpower work. The willpower to say, okay, even though people are telling me that I've lost too much weight, I like the way I look and I like the way I feel. Right? I like the way I look and I like the way I feel. So for me, it was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself down to 230. I remember my journey. I'm gonna get myself down to 230. That's what I told myself. Then I got to 230. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to 225. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get down to 225 because I'm gonna get some abs and blah, 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 and all this other stuff, right? I'm gonna get myself down to 220. I got down to 225 and I'm like, it's not enough. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down to 215, right? And I kept going lower and lower. Why? Because I like the way it feels. I like how it feels when I put my clothes on. I like shopping for clothes. And when I lost weight and started working out more, how my clothes were fitting. Like, I used to get my suits tailored. I've been getting my suits tailored for years. I mean, because for those that don't really know me, like even before Legal Shield, I literally used to wear a suit every day of the week. I used to wear a suit every single day. And I got so burnt out on doing that. It was like when Rip Mason became a part of Legal Shield years ago and said that the no tie thing, I was the best thing I ever heard. And I went from wearing a full suit to wearing a suit with the top of my shirt unbuttoned with no tie on to then going to a blazer and jeans to where now, unless I'm going to do some kind of business, I don't even wear like suits. Like I literally will have on athletic gear most of the time. You catch me somewhere and it's not business, athletic gear. For those that, and then when I started training CDLP, forget about it. I was nothing but like, I mean, if you've been in one of my trainings, you probably never seen me in a suit at a training. And when I did wear one, you saw me say, take a picture of me in this suit jacket so I can take this sucker off. Cause I'm not training no suit jacket because I got uncomfortable wearing suit jackets because I got burnt out on it. So I used to always have my suits tailored, but then when I started losing weight and really liking the way I looked and the way I felt, I started getting my regular clothes tailored, my regular button-down shirts tailored. I was getting, just everything tailored. Other than athletic gear, I was getting everything tailored because I felt so much better in my clothes. So that healthcare journey, you have to be the person that's steering that ship. You have to be the person that says, hey, look, this is where I want to be. This is where I feel good at. And when you feel good in that specific space, in that specific place, then that's when you stop. You stop losing weight when you feel like that's enough for you, if that makes sense. So it's got to definitely be your healthcare journey, not somebody else's. So you see, it says being healthy is a lifestyle. Changing what I eat, changing what I ate was one of the most important changes I made. No diets involved for me, like it says there. Just lifestyle change. Why no diets? I didn't get into any program I didn't want to get into a program that would one day stop. And that's one of the things that I was concerned about, was getting into a program. And when I get into the program and lose the weight, okay, and I'm like, okay, so what now? I've lost the weight, so what am I going to do now? Where do I go from here? Because if you get off the diet, you gain the weight back. So if I say I'm on keto and I don't eat carbs and I lose weight because I'm doing the keto and I'm not eating carbs, well, what happens when I get off of keto and I start eating carbs again? So the person says, well, no, you keep on not eating carbs. Well, okay, well, you're not on the keto no more. At that point, you just have stopped eating carbs. So you want to get yourself more of a lifestyle deal where it's about lifestyle, not about, hey, I'm joining this thing to lose this weight. So that's kind of how things work for me. So you'll see throughout the book, like where different things, it definitely mattered to me when it came to those different things. So, and this is just a quick table of contents on the book. So, when we go through all of these things, we go, not today, obviously, but when we go through the whole series, hydrating, even when you have COVID-19. Let me go back here. So you'll see, are you consuming complex carbohydrates? Understanding portion control, celebrating small wins, mapping out your healthcare plan, tracking your success. The water is the way to health, talking about hydrating. Hydrating when we have COVID-19 or any other illness that have to do with a fever or a cold, anything like that. Conclusive tips to convenient hydrating, filling the fridge, preparing meals, using Ziploc bags, probiotics, like I mentioned earlier, consistent cardio. Those are all things that are going to be, that are in this book that we're going to be talking about for a long or short amount of time. So my introduction, it says, maintaining a healthy lifestyle doesn't take as much effort as you may think. Watching the habits of other people, of other healthy people, you might say to yourself, I could never do all of that, but it's just not true. So don't get yourself caught up in the whole Instagram, Facebook, social media world where you're looking at, like, if you're a woman, don't go look at some girl that's been working out for 20 years, who works out for a living, who got medals and all that kind of stuff and be like, I can't look like that. That is not your typical person. So you gotta live by some rules and some standards when it comes to social media, because social media has its pros and its cons. First of all, you can't compare yourself to somebody who gets paid to work out. You see what I mean? Like, you work 8 hours a day at a job where you own the business. That person, some of these people who work out, who got medals and they work out to be in weightlifting contests and stuff like that, guys, they work out twice a day for like 2 hours each time. They may spend 2 hours in the gym and then come in first thing in the morning, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then go back in the evening, 12 hours later, and do another 2 hours in the gym. And they're doing cardio outside of that. So they might walk 5 miles or walk 10 miles on top of all that. Why? Because that's what they do for a living. So they don't have to go to work because that is their work. They get paid to look that way, or they get paid to work out, or whatever the case may be. Don't look at a personal trainer who is training people all day long. So they're doing weight things all day long, and then they're doing their time in the gym, because you can't compare yourself to somebody who does that for a living. So just be careful when you're looking at people, and figure out what you want to be, not based on what other people are, but based on where you want to be. Do you just want to be healthy? Do you just want to be toned up? Are you looking forward to see like muscle formed or tone, or what are you looking to do? What areas of your body are you looking at working on? It should be full body workout, but some people, they're not looking to do that. And stay away from the Jane Fonda workouts. And no offense to Jane Fonda, but I've got a young lady that I work with right now, and it's like she's been working out for years, like with no changes in her body. And she's like, I don't really have any changes. And I'm like, how long you been working out? 4 years. Why no changes? Because she's doing a Jane Fonda workout. She's working out in her house, and she's doing just enough to sweat. And then she's saying she worked out every day, and she's not losing any weight. She's not gaining any muscle. She's not toning herself. All she's doing on a day-to-day basis is keeping her heart rate, like giving her heart rate that boost during the exercise time, which is healthy, but it's not changing the way she looks. It's not really changing the way she feels. So now I've got her doing actual workouts, and she's already like, hey, this feels way better than I was feeling before. Now that I'm actually I'm sore sometimes. I'm tired after I work out. I'm sweating more. It's just a lot more going on now because her body is really getting a workout versus just exercising, if that makes sense. So just keep those things in mind. So it's not really difficult. It's about being consistent. Working out is not hard. It's about being consistent. So a person of optimal health leads a different daily routine than most people. Their lives are comprised of many small, healthy habits that continue to follow every day. These habits aren't complicated, and you are more than able to incorporate them in your own fitness and food planning. So you can get all of these things structured and planned and worked out the way that you need to. You really can. It's really just about you taking the time to put these things in your schedule like you put anything else in the schedule, right? So it says, in fact, living a healthy lifestyle can often simplify your life in ways that you couldn't begin to understand. And it's, guys, I'm telling you, if it's weight loss you're looking for, when you lose some weight, I'm telling you, you're going to feel a change. If you're eating foods that aren't good, you're eating too late, you're eating food that's really processed, really heavy, a lot of sodium, things of that nature. If that's what's going on, guys, I promise you, when you stop eating those kind of foods, you'll be able to tell. If anybody listening right now has slowed down on sodium, or changed the hours that they eat, or maybe started intermittent fasting, or lost a significant amount of weight that made them, like, just put it in the chat. Like, it makes you feel so much better. So it's really just about understanding that, hey, I want to live differently. I want to be differently, because that's all really part of success. So you see, it says important note on the bottom. I just got that down there just like, good guys, I'm not a doctor. Obviously, y'all that know me know I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to act as a doctor. So before you make any major changes, definitely talk to your physician. Talk to your physician. Let me give you an example of why that's important. Somewhere in the conversation, I may tell you I eat a banana every day, right? Well, bananas are healthy. It's fruit. They've got natural sugar in them. So, it's not added sugar. Your body knows how to process the sugar that's in a banana. But if you're a diabetic, eating bananas is probably not a good thing to do because of the sugar content that's in a banana. So if I say I eat bananas and you like, well, I'm gonna eat bananas because you're saying you eat bananas and you're saying that you're healthy and I want to be healthy. Well, bananas might not work for you because if you're a diabetic, I don't know your medical condition. So you may have some things going on that I don't know anything about, that a banana may not be healthy for you. That's why you got to check with your healthcare professional to help map out that plan. What I'm doing here with you all is letting you know how important it is to be healthy and how that does contribute to your success. A lot of this stuff you're gonna have to go to your doctor and a nutritionist for to say, okay, what should I be doing about this? Some things I can answer, some things I can't because I'm not qualified to. So I see Jim Hicks said less sugar and sodium, good stuff. Cut down on sodium and calories, right? So when you pull down that caloric intake, makes a big difference. When you do less sugar, so like right now, I'm about to start for a week. I'm only gonna do this for a week. No sugar for a week. No sugar for a week, and that's important because sugar will make you gain weight. And when you're buying a product that says no fat or less fat, that can be good. But some people are thinking, okay, it's got less fat, so I'm going to get less fat if I eat it. And it's like, that's not the way that works, guys. So understand that sugar is going to turn, sugar is going to get processed and turned into fat if it's not burned. So you should be looking for something with no sugar, not no fat, or preferably no sugar and no fat, unless it's good fat, which is a whole nother conversation that we'll have at another point. But sugar is going to turn into fat. So if you call yourself avoiding fat by eating something with less fat or no fat, but it's full of sugar, you're not accomplishing that goal, because when you go to bed at night, the sugar that has not been burned by your body stores and it turns it into fat. So you don't really want to have that excess sugar. That's why we say things like don't eat fruit after 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, because if you don't do enough after 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening to burn that sugar off, then it's going to store it. Your body's going to store it. So try not to eat things with sugar in them after once it gets evening time, unless you plan on running a marathon after you do it, right? If that makes sense. So those are just things that we have to be aware of as we're looking at health, just looking at things that we can be doing. So it says, are you consuming complex carbohydrates? And why is this important? Because keto is very famous, a very famous diet, keto diet. And what I want you guys to understand is that while carbs can be bad for you, not all carbs are bad for you. Right? Not all carbs are bad for you. Sometimes carbs can be bad, but then you've got complex carbs, which I'm gonna go over some of those here, that are good for you, and your body needs to have carbs in it. Right? You may find somebody else that says, well, no, your body don't need to have carbs. You can get 2 doctors and they may disagree on that, guys. So just understand what I'm telling you here. You can go to YouTube after I finish talking to you guys here and look up some of the stuff I said. You're going to find another doctor that's going to say, oh, no, you absolutely, you're fine with all carbs, right? So it depends on what you're looking for and what you want to believe, what facts you want to believe, or what conspiracy theories sometimes, because it depends on who you listen to, who you want to believe. But you got something called complex carbohydrates. And there aren't many doctors or healthcare professionals that are going to tell you that you don't want to have these in your body. And I'm going to give you guys some here. So some of you guys know enough about health to know that you need them in your body yourself. So when you hear the word carbs, chances are your outlook is less than favorable. After all, just look at those high protein, low carb diets that you hear about. And that's what happens. We hear people say keto, 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 no carbs, low carbs. And sometimes we don't know everything about that. We don't understand what ketones mean. We don't know about hitting ketone levels. We don't understand any of those things. We just know keto and don't eat carbs. And you call yourself not eating carbs, even though you're not on a keto diet. And I'm not eating bread no more because it's got carbs in it. And I'm not eating this no more because it's got carbs in it. Or you read a label and a label says that it's got 19 grams of carbs in it. And you're like, oh, I'm not eating that because it's got carbs. And you don't even understand what kind of carbs they are, whether they're complex carbs or whether they're not, not complex carbs that may be bad for you. So you see what it says here. Surprise, our bodies actually need carbs, right? What runs through your mind every time you see a plate of carbs? Bread, pasta, sugar, starchy vegetables. That's what you think about when you think about carbs. Right? All of these things we've told you to stay away from. Then it says the problem isn't carbs, it's the type of carbs we're consuming. And that's where the complex carbohydrates come in. So oatmeal, whole grains, brown rice, those are considered to be complex carbohydrates, right? So here are some easy ways to incorporate these into your daily diet. So steel cut oats, right? So it says steel cut oats are better for you than regular oats because they're not usually as heavily processed. The high fiber content makes them perfect candidate to eat away at bad cholesterol, right? Because and why are they saying bad cholesterol, guys? Because there's a such thing as good cholesterol. That's why they're saying that, right? So pick up some at the grocery store and have them for breakfast with a banana or an avocado, or you can use it to make a protein smoothie. I use oats a lot of times to make a protein smoothie. I don't eat a lot of oatmeal by itself, not because there's something wrong with it. I just don't. And I would suggest staying away from the Quaker Oat packs of oatmeal where they got apple cinnamon and maple sugar. And I know you're making it real quick with some hot water at home, but that's processed and it's full of sugar and it's not the best kind of oatmeal. If you're gonna eat oatmeal, put a little bit of time. So when you hear the myth, and you hear me talk about this during our session here with healthcare, there's this myth that being healthy costs so much more, and it just flat out doesn't, right? It may, and I'm saying may, and that's an important word. It may cost a little bit more. It depends on what you're considering to be healthy and what food choices you're making when it comes to being healthy, whether it's going to cost more or not. But it does not necessarily cost more to be healthy. Now, it does cost more time to be healthy, but it doesn't always cost more money, right? Yes. So getting regular oats, like the big canister of oatmeal with the Quaker Oats guy on there that are just regular oatmeal, getting steel cut oats that way, and actually cooking oatmeal with hot water and whatever kind of milk you use. If you use dairy, I use, different milks that are healthier milks, but whatever you're using for dairy, or just use water and make the oatmeal in some water. If you want to if you're saying, well, I need it to be sweet, I can't eat my oatmeal without something sweet in there, try to get as natural of a sweetener as you can, guys. Stay away from the packed sweeteners, right? Use some monk fruit to make your oatmeal sweet. Use some honey to make your oatmeal sweet. Use things like that. Try to use that. Cut a banana up and put it in there if you can eat a banana, because a banana don't make it sweet, but it's natural sugar. It is still sugar, but at least your body knows how to process. And what you're trying to stay away from at this point is anything that's processed. So I saw that Jim Hicks put here, label reading is very important. I never eat high fructose corn syrup, plus watch added sugar. Very important. Added sugar is going to be directly under sugar, guys. So you may see a product that says no sugar, but added sugar. That means that the food didn't naturally have sugar in it. So if you went to the store and bought something like banana chips, right? Banana chips, it may say 7 grams of sugar because bananas automatically have sugar. And then it might say 2 grams of added sugar, where they actually put some sugar in there and processed it in that package of banana chips. So if they added sugar that wasn't natural sugar, it's going to be right below the label that says sugar. So if you got something in your house that you can grab and look at it and look at that label, you will see it right there. And me and Jim talked about label reading earlier. So even though I don't have label reading in this book, I will spend some time going over label reading during this series so that you guys understand how to read labels and know what's good and what's bad and know what to stay away from. When it says natural flavor and it says artificial flavor, and people's like, oh, no, I don't want the artificial flavor. Mine says natural. Guys, that's bad too. When it says natural artificial flavor, it's all bad. Like don't ask me why the FTC or whatever the name of this entity that allows them to put stuff in stuff and say that it's safe, it's not healthy. So you want to get stuff where the ingredients are what you're eating. So if I showed you my peanut butter, you know what my peanut butter says on there? Peanuts. That's all it's got in there. All the side of the jar says on the ingredients is peanuts. My almond butter, it says almonds and palm oil. That's all it has in it. It doesn't have anything else in there. No salt, right? It's 0 sodium. So you want your products to be the product, not a list of stuff. When you're looking at 3 or 4 lines of ingredients on the back of a label, guys, don't eat it, right? And it's going to take some time to get there. I get it, right? It's going to take some time to get there. But just keep that in the back of your mind, like now. You don't want to eat things that's processed that way. It's just not good for your health, especially as you start to get older. I'm 45, and I've been reading labels since I've been in probably my maybe 37, 38. I started reading labels. And as I got older and better at it, I've gotten it down to where if it's anything more than 3 or 4 things on that ingredients, then I'm not even gonna buy it. And if it's something that I can't spell, I can't even pronounce it, I'm not eating it. I'm just telling you. That's just the way I deal with it. But again, you'll get yourself to that point when it comes to your own personal health, right? So you see it says quinoa, right? If you are either allergic or allergic to gluten or just want to eliminate it from your diet, then consider adding quinoa to your list of complex carbohydrates. Not only are they high in fiber, but they are a good amount of protein and even comes with some omega-3 fatty acids. And that's a really good superfood. So guys, it just makes sense to eat things like quinoa, steel cut oats, lentils. If you are a vegetarian and looking for more plant-based protein, or just looking to ease up on eating so much meat, then lentils are a must. So not only are they full of fiber, but they are loaded with cancer-fighting polyphenols and folic acid, which helps combat heart disease. Plus, there are so many ways to enjoy legumes. Try searching the internet for some recipe ideas. And guys, we're at a day and time now where you got YouTube and the internet. Guys, you can pull some really good recipes. And I'm going to be talking about some recipes at the end of our series here. I just started doing something called a cucumber salad and some other things. But I'm telling you, it's some really healthy things that you can eat that are good tasting and good for you. And if you got kids at home, if you start eating healthy in the house, you make your kids healthy, you start them off early doing that. Now they're not waiting until they got to the age you got to before you realize eating healthy was the important thing. So you say the next time you hear somebody put down carbs, just remind yourself and them about the importance of complex carbohydrates to make sure that they understand that those things are necessary. So here where it says size doesn't matter, understanding portion control, guys. And I'm on this. I'm going to talk more about understanding portion control next week. I'm going to mention a couple things now because it's 10 o'clock, but I'm going to talk more about this next week, understanding portion control. But we're going to get into a little bit more about, weighing things on the scale and getting an app where you can pay attention more attention to your caloric intake and things of that nature. That's what I want you guys to focus on. I want you to focus on eating less. That's very important. Eating less. Why? Because less caloric intake, the healthier you are because you're eating less. And also, if you're eating less, if you're eating foods that aren't always as good for you, then you put less of that in your body, if that makes sense. So it says, have you ever heard the saying, your eyes are bigger than your stomach? That's why I gave you guys the example earlier about, like, if you just give yourself less to eat on a plate, like you'll see in this chapter here, we talk about when you go buy your dinner plate, your dinner set, it's got the big plate, it's got the snack plate. Eat your dinner off the snack plate. Because if your eyes, right, you're tricking your brain. If your eye sees that little plate of food and you say that's dinner, then your stomach only expects to eat that. If you got a big plate piled up with food, then your stomach is saying, okay, that's dinner. And until I finish that, I'm not satisfied. So I want you guys to get better at cutting down your caloric intake, but eating foods that satiate better, which means that they fill you up. So you got foods that will fill you up, that are healthy, that you should eat. So if you're a person that's saying, hey, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and understand, really it's not. The word breakfast means break your fast. So breaking your fast doesn't necessarily mean in the morning. A lot of times I don't eat until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's just the way my body works. Like I'll eat late at night sometime because I'm a night owl. But I won't eat. I'll get up in the morning and I won't eat until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I won't do nothing but drink bottles of water and have a cup of coffee. And sometimes when I eat the first time, it's somewhere between 12 and 2 o'clock. Guess what, guys? Even though it's lunchtime, that's breakfast. I'm not eating breakfast food when I eat. But why is it breakfast? Because I'm breaking my fast. I'm breaking my fast. So breakfast don't mean I'm eating in the morning. People just associated with that because most of the time we eat the first time it's morning. So it's like, okay, I'm eating breakfast in the morning. Breakfast means break your fast. And breaking your fast means that this is the first time you've eaten since you've gotten up or since the last time you've eaten, right? So if you do that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, really that's breakfast. So in that sense, is that the best? Is that the most important meal of the day? Yes, but don't associate that with waking up in the morning and eating is the most important meal, because it's not because you're waking up in the morning and eating. It's because when you break your fast, what you put in your body as soon as you break your fast is going to be the most important thing. And you don't want to put processed stuff in there. You don't want your stomach to be fasting, and then when it goes to eat, it's eating garbage. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. You want it to be eating something healthy that's not processed. So a lot of times I'll start my morning off with something healthy. I've already had 3 or 4 bottles of water, right? So now I'm gonna put some food in my system. It's normally gonna be like I'll snack on some carrots, or I may eat cucumber slices, or I may eat a salad, or I may eat some Triscuits, or I'll eat, but I'm not gonna eat something that's heavily processed, and put that in my system, because I don't want to wake my system up and put it to work like that. And the first thing I give it is kind of garbage, right? So it's like, if you think about, and I'm gonna end with this, if you think about your baby, you have a child and you're looking for healthy baby food for this child, carrots and things that will help the body grow and make your body strong and fend off. Then you want to make sure there's vitamins inside the baby food, and that's what you feed your child. And then as you get older, you start eating crap. Like vegetables not important no more. Vitamin C not important no more. All these different vitamins and things, all of this food packed with nutrition and vitamins that you give your child when they're growing up as a baby, and now you've grown, it's like, because you have to feed them to eat what you want, you just eat trash. And your body is a well-oiled machine, and it can deal with that for a long time. But as you get older, that stuff breaks it down the same way that if you put bad oil in your car and bad gas in your car and don't maintain your car and don't change the tires on time and don't get a tire rotation and don't get your car balanced. If you don't do those things, your car lasts less amount of time, right? It deteriorates quicker because it's not being taken care of. It's the same thing that happens to your body. If you take care of your body, then your body will last until you go. Like, your body will be in good condition until you die of whatever cause you die from. If you don't take care of it, it'll still work for you, but as you get older, it's gonna start tearing up. It's gonna start deteriorating, and you're gonna end up spending more on medication than you would have spent on multivitamins and eating healthy in the first place, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna stop there because it's 10 o'clock, and I want to start finishing closer to like an hour after I get started. But next week we're gonna go into more on portion control, like talking about the food scale and talking about the portions of meat that you should be eating if you're eating meat. And you see, I got up there now some different dressings that our lower calorie dressings. And I'll tell you the ones that I prefer and how I'm using them and things of that nature. So just a lot to talk about as it comes to health in this book, so that you guys can be healthier entrepreneurs. Or if you're not an entrepreneur and you just want to be healthy, then it's great to just be able to do that and be healthy. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the call up. Let me go ahead and stop this screen share real quickly. And all right, so if anybody has any questions or comments about anything, go ahead and feel free, unmute yourself and go ahead and have at it. Ladies first, of course. Anybody? Going once? Going twice? All right, fantastic. So remember, I put the in the email, you guys should have received an email from me. And the email has what this call was going to be about today. It also has information on the book. So if you want to get the book, it's in the email. If you can't find the email, if you didn't receive the email or whatever the case may be, just let me know. As a matter of fact, what I can do here real quick, because I can really just drop it. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to drop it in here. That way you guys will have it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat here, down here, and this is Health is Success 2021, and this is the link for the book. It's $9.98. You download it immediately when you pay for it, so you'll be able to download it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the YouTube channel as well. So if you're on YouTube looking at this, I'm putting it there as well. There you go. So all you got to do is click that link, and it'll take you there to get the book, and then you can download it right from there. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, all those different things, so that you guys are notified and you know what's going on with the channel. Give it about another 3 weeks for the leadership training to start on Thursdays. And I'm also on Clubhouse. I did a Clubhouse earlier today. If you have an iPhone, I think somebody messaged me the other day about getting on there, and I sent them an invite. But if you have, the only way you can get on Clubhouse is with an iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, you can't get on Clubhouse. If you got an iPhone and you're interested in getting on Clubhouse, just contact me because I have a couple of invitations. But I did something earlier on Clubhouse, letting them know that I was going to be doing a training tonight. And I'm going to also start eventually here, probably in the next 30 days or so, doing a weekly training on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse already and we're not following each other, just follow me. When you follow me, I'll follow you back. Whenever somebody follows me and I see it, I click it, and then I go ahead and follow them back on Clubhouse as well. That way you can kind of build your base there as you move forward. So that's pretty much it, guys. Wanted to make sure you guys had this information tonight, and we got a few more weeks left of this the healthcare stuff here. So anything else before we go? Go once? Going twice?
Yeah, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Mr. Jim.
How you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You might want to share with the group what you shared with me, that if anyone wants to provide a gift of this book to their friends, family, etc., how to do that.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, and it's real simple, like to do it as a gift, because I know, man, you talked about that, Jim. All you got to do is go in there and buy the book, and then when you buy it and download it, you can use a system called WeTransfer to send the book to somebody, and WeTransfer is free. You just go to WeTransfer.com, and WeTransfer is, let me put that in here. I'm putting it in the chat. Even if you're not going to send somebody the book, you can use WeTransfer for any files that you send them, if they're big files. So if you go to WeTransfer.com and create an account, they have a paid version and a free version. I've been using WeTransfer since 2014, and I've never used the paid version. I don't need to. It holds 2 gigs on a free version, so it's just no need for me to have a paid version. But let me see, get it on here on YouTube as well. Put it on YouTube as well, and it'll also be in the description, guys, of the video. But WeTransfer allows you to upload a file from your computer and send it to somebody, whether it's a PDF, whether it's images, whatever, up to 2 gigs. You can send it out to them. You can only send it to 3 people at a time with the free version. So a lot of times you can just do a link, really, and you can take the link and create. When you send it, it'll create a link, and you can send that link to people as well, and they can download it from the link. So you don't really need to send it to everybody. You can send it to yourself, create the link, and then send a link to whoever you want to. So that's another way to use it as well. But it just allows you to be able to send big files. So thanks for that reminder, Jim. Absolutely. Anybody else? Once, twice. All right, fantastic, guys. We're going to go ahead and close out here. We appreciate you guys being on this week. And next week, we'll be here again, and we'll be going over some more topics of this book. And until we finish it up, then we'll be going into some more mindset stuff. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful rest of your evening. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, some of you on Monday, and then some of the rest of you guys on next week, Wednesday.
Good night.